Morning, Mozark here on the Hemmed-In Hollow Trail. I just started out at the Center Point trailhead about 200 feet back up the trail there. It's 7:30 a.m. and the sun's just started rising over the Ozark Mountains. I have some nice places to visit today that I think you'll enjoy, so stick around. So let's get started and see if we can shake off this 32-degree morning with a little exercise. At the intersection with the Goat Trail, which is about 2.7 miles from the Center Point trailhead. As you can see, this is a relatively flat spot that is commonly used by backpackers, which is okay if you arrive late and leave early. Otherwise, you'll have a lot of foot traffic through your camp. That's not good if you like your privacy. If we look to the right, we'll see the white blaze, which is the Goat Trail. Let's get going. Well, look at this, back in the woods, and the scenery's changing already. I think this is going to lead to something good. As you can see, now we're hiking along a small bluff. Nice little trail. You can see a combination of cedar trees and small pines. You'll notice most of these pines will look a little bit rough, as do the cedar trees. Scientists say the cedar trees can actually reach hundreds of years in age up on this bluff, and you'd never know it because they grow so slow they look young. But since things move at a slow pace up here, this might just be a place for me. I'm going to hike along the Goats Trail here for quite a ways and leave the camera on because I've been here several times, and the first few times I walked out, I saw the bluffs and I said, yay, barely, I've seen them. Let's go on down to Granny Henderson's place. But actually there's much more of this bluff to see than meets your eyes at first, because you think you're there and you've seen it, but it actually goes on probably for roughly a quarter of a mile along this bluff. And there's no two places along it that are the same. And actually today, I don't come back. I go all the way and go down to the Buffalo River from the other side, which is quite a bit of fun. You're actually walking along the riverbed. Now here I come across some campers who had actually spent the night there. I guess it was a Friday night. I imagine it was pretty windy and chilly up there because it was 32 when I arrived this morning at 7-ish. But it looks like they had a good time. I think I heard some comments as I walked by that maybe I should buy a better air mattress or sleeping pad. They were basically sleeping on rocks. It just doesn't get much worse than that. But look at this view. I could sleep on a few rocks to wake up to a view like that. And that's the Buffalo River you see down in the bottom there, cutting its way through the mountains. And there's some other bluffs back up to the far right. Look at that little tent peeking through that hole there. How cool. So let's continue on down the bluffs here. Some more of those gnarly little trees. You can see the buffalo there in the background. Some more bluffs. This is from the looking in the other direction. I guess that's just kind of looking southeast at the moment. Seems like as I come along, I find more and more little spots that are kind of cut into the bluff itself. This just looks like a pretty good spot to drop my backpack. Wow. Nice view. I just wish the camera could bring in the real beauty of it. I dropped my pack, as you can see. We're walking along the bluffs. These bluffs are getting taller by the moment. If you remember a while ago when I first came in, the bluffs were like 3 or 4 feet high, and then they went about 10 feet high. But check this one out. You know, I'm like 5'7". Give you a little scale. Took this video to work, showed some of the raw footage to my co-workers. This is about where one of them walks up. He goes, "Oh, what have you got there? Is that Sasquatch?" I didn't know my feet were that big. But look, I'm virtually disappearing on the bluff. This bluff, by the way, is called Big Bluff. And if you ever canoe the river, you will not miss it, I promise. Unless you're fast asleep and someone else is doing the paddling. As you can see, you could slip here and it'd be kind of exciting before you came to a stop. I guess you could say if you have a fear of heights, this might not be the trail to take. There's the buffalo. She comes in, makes a U-turn, goes right back away from us. And that bend that you see right there where the water's the widest, there's a gravel bar on the right. Interesting thing happened there a few years ago. I was canoeing with my brother-in-law, and he lost his wedding band right in that area. So if you ever canoe through there, stop on the bar. Don't look for Indian artifacts. Look for a platinum ring. We've looked. We haven't been able to find it, but that doesn't mean it's not still there. Now that you've seen the goat trail, what do you think about it? Well, I think you need to start planning your own trip. Now it's time for me to hike on down to the Buffalo River, then on to Jim's Bluff, which is about a 1.5 mile hike from here. Then from there on to Granny Henderson's homestead before hiking off for Sneed's Creek, where I will be meeting up with Dutch Oven Dave and a couple of his friends this evening. And lastly, I'll take you guys up to Hemden Hollow, where we will check out the highest waterfall between the Rocky Mountains and the Mississippi River. So stay tuned for some more exciting adventures from the Upper Buffalo River National Park.